As we enter the second half of 2023, plenty of mouth-watering games are still set to launch, all vying for your money and attention. But how do you know which ones to invest in? Especially if you're like me and love point-and-click adventures, of which there are heaps of upcoming unique and creative titles to choose from. I've handpicked 8 games set to release in the remaining months of 2023. These look the goods and are worth keeping an eye on. Kicking the list off is Grunduslav Games' Rosewater. It's a western adventure set in the alternate 19th century world of Lamplight City, the developer's previous game. You play as Harley Lega, a freelance writer who ends up in the titular town of Rosewater alongside her ragtag crew. Here she takes up a simple assignment for the local newspaper, one that leads to her crew searching for a man's missing fortune. Lega will encounter a varied cast of characters on her journey, and the game promises that your choices do matter, with situations and relationships affected by the decisions you make. A demo is available for those who want to try it out before it launches later this year. Midnight Girl from Italic has been on my radar for a while. It's set in Paris in 1965 and follows teen tomboy Monique, a cat burglar who is jailed after a failed heist. In prison, she forms a bond with another inmate and thief, and together they escape with plans to steal a precious diamond, taking them on a wild journey. It's inspired by heist films of the 60s, Belgian comic books, and the city of Paris. It's got a lot going for it, and I can't wait to play it when it does release. Blowfish Studios and Indisruption have joined forces to make Vlad Circus Descend into Madness, a point-and-click psychological horror that tells the chilling story of a freak circus that burnt to the ground in 1921. 8 years later, the ringleader is attempting to get the crew back together, and playing as Oliver Mills, a clown whose memory has been affected by trauma, you'll need to speak with old colleagues about life since the fire to remember the past, as well as watch out for figures lurking in the shadows. I went hands-on with the game at PAX Oz 2022 and had a great time. The combination of the audio design and atmospheric pixel art really immerses you in the world. Keep an eye out for this one later in the year. With a uniquely engrossing hand-drawn art style that looks like the work of Amanita Design, Murder on Space Station 52 sees protagonist Edward Locke trapped on a space station full of strange creatures where he must catch a ruthless killer or risk becoming another victim. It's got a cracking blues soundtrack, and players can earn in-game currency from exploration and completing tasks that they can spend on customizing their apartment and buying creatures for their aquarium. Developer Made From Strings took the project to Kickstarter, where it hit its funding goal of $10,000, setting it up to launch sometime in 2023. Inspired by old-school LucasArts games, Robust Games' Locomotive is a thrilling adventure set on a 1930s steam train where you play as the prime suspects of a murder. Your characters will include a lawyer, a crime novelist turned rookie detective, and a spy. Together, the trio must prove their innocence and find out who the killer is before it's too late. With dashing pixel art, slapstick humour, and a soundtrack composed by Paul Zimmerman, Locomotive is one to watch out for in 2023. Foolish Mortals hit Kickstarter last year, and I had no qualms about pledging money to its development after reading that it's inspired by Broken Sword and Monkey Island. The game is set in 1933 on the island of Devil's Rock and follows the adventure of Murphy McCallan as he searches for the famous treasure of Belmore Manor, where a wedding party mysteriously vanished decades earlier. However, McCallan's search awakens the spirit of the manor, as well as an evil phantom determined to beat him to the treasure. But finding the treasure first won't be enough. He'll need to discover what happened to the wedding party all those years ago, and to do that, he might need to die too. Verne, The Shape of Fantasy is an adventure based on the life and works of famed sci-fi author Jules Verne. Set in 1888 in an alternate Earth called Hemera, where war against the nation threatens to destroy the world, players assume the role of Verne as he embarks on a journey to discover the lost city of Atlantis. According to legend, a mysterious artifact with the power to change the course of history and save Hemera lies buried there. But Verne and co will have to confront a dark entity intent on wiping the power of imagination from the minds of Hemera's citizens. Developed by Gametopia, the game features classic point-and-click gameplay, non-linear dialogue that allows for a varied experience, and a steampunk world brought to life with a detailed pixel art style. A demo is available now for those keen to dive in and check it out before it releases. One of the wackier games on this list is The Many Pieces of Mr. Koo from Gamera Nest. Stuck in a nonsensical world, our protagonist, Mr. Koo, is trapped and cut into pieces and must make himself whole again. It has a beautifully hand-drawn 2D cartoon art style with stunning animations that instantly catch your eye, and a story that is full of humour and quirky characters. A demo is available now if you want to try it out before it releases on PlayStation consoles, Nintendo Switch, and PC on September 7. Well, there you have it. 8 point-and-click games that are full of promise and worth keeping an eye on if you love adventure games like me. Let us know in the comments if we've missed any games or if there's any game that you're keen on. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.